Hi everybody, this is Sean White from XDC Network here in Australia. As you may know, XDC Network is unveiling a host of accelerator programs to support the building and the continued building and token launching of many fine Web3 candidates. We have the great pleasure of welcoming Bimlesh Gundurao from Foundership HQ. Bimlesh, you want to say hello, please?
Hey, Sean, thank you so much for having me here today. Hello, everyone. Super excited to be on this podcast with Sean and excited on what XDC is doing.
Yeah, well, we are doing a lot. We're actually expanding out of our little TradeFi pigeonhole, as you well know. The XDC Network is somewhat renowned for being one of the first, if not the first, to tokenize private debt. So we've spreading our wings over the last few years, and even more so in the next few years to come, we want to expand them more. So we're going head first in a lot of incubator accelerator programs, and Foundership is thankfully involved.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been around, for just close to 2 years now, and we've been mostly working with Polygon, and now we are expanding to work with other ecosystem partners, and very happy that our partnership with XDC is going great, and we're launching our first cohort together.
Yeah, well, would you like to give a little overview of the incubator programs?
Yeah, sure. So we are a global accelerator. We started our focus in Web3 just about 2 years ago, is where we made the decision. We run our cohort programs 3 times a year, and our entire core value prop is about 3C model, which is coaching, capital, and community. Me and my co-founder, both of us come with vast serial entrepreneur background. We have been very passionate product builders. We have seen the world from the desktop era to Web 1, Web 2, and now with Web 3. So we understand how technology progresses from a nascent stage of the entire technology landscape itself, and then how markets evolve, and how consumers evolve, and how industries evolve in adopting technology. And we have been very passionate in working with early stage startups. Both of us are built.
We spoke off camera a little earlier, and that your background being so solid in cloud and Web 2, you obviously can see from a technological point of view, we're definitely moving into a Web 3 and digital economy. What are some of the other co-founders of Foundership which sort of bring that team sort of focus?
Absolutely. So my co-founder, Santosh, built out India's largest event ticketing company focusing on India and Singapore markets. And his platform actually facilitated Vitalik's first India event in 2016. Right?
What,
so he's been Vitalik.
Okay, yeah.
Vitalik's first Ethereum event in India was powered by his company called Explara.
Okay. Early adopter.
Early adopter. So he's been exposed, ever since 2016 into this space. And, my exposure to Web3 and the cryptocurrencies, active involvement is only about 2 years old. But, as we were talking earlier, I've been part of the banking software ecosystem since 2008, and I could bear witness to what actually happened in 2008, which is the entire genesis of why we need blockchain and why there's need a whole new thinking and a way of businesses using technology and consumers using technology, and having the ability for technology to give back the power to us as individuals. Right?
What better way to kind of affect some change than to kind of create that partnership with Santosh and actually invigorate that next wave of digital entrepreneurs.
Absolutely. So we've been very passionate in trying to build something from a global point of view, and Web3 gave us that opportunity to build a global dream and build a global accelerator from Asia, covering both sides of the world.
Yeah, absolutely. And in India and Dubai, Middle East, I think that's where you guys are mostly based. It's certainly a fulcrum or a pivot point for the whole world. We, as XTC Network, and as you well know, and the audience probably would like to know, we are sort of expanding more into, obviously we have our mainstays in trade and trade finance, but we want to sort of also open this accelerator up more to things like the staking options on our layer 1 to increase that whole liquidity of the ecosystem more. Some of the other things, decentralized physical infrastructure and the gaming and AI. Maybe you can speak of what would be the target audience that you would say that Foundership particularly would be focusing on, I guess, with XDC Network in this next cohort.
Fantastic. So XDC partnership with Foundership comes at a critical time where we have seen now Bitcoin touch its all-time high at 73K and now hovering around 60K. And this has been a great shift since last Q3 of 2023. And since then, we are seeing a lot more focus in the bull market to maximize opportunities around creating more liquidity with token launches. So the entire philosophy of building this partnership with XDC was to launch a cohort where we enable startups that are ready to startups that are looking to launch their token within the next 6 months to come into this program, wherein we can work together with XDC and shrink the entire cycle of what it takes to get ready and what it takes to launch. So look at this as a perfect accelerator model where in 90 days, power-packed framework that you as a startup who has got a product, who has got some traction, who now has some users on it, is now looking to create liquidity for investors and to enable your community and users to get incentivized. And no better way to do that with a token launch. So this power pack program called Get Token Launch Ready is a 90-day program where you get the entire playbook on what it takes and the power of the ecosystem network of our coaches, XDC coaches, to ensure that in 90 days you know what it takes to launch, and between 90 to 180 days you actually go TG.
Yeah, well, this is it. It's all about ready to launch sort of pathways, and obviously the accelerator program allows a whole bunch of mentorship and doorways that can be open or connections that can possibly made, and also just to really refine these entities' sort of thinking and their business proposition. What sort of mentorship would you say that Foundership has provided in the past that might be appealing to those in the gaming or the DePIN or the staking? I mean, what sort of resources can you lean on?
Absolutely, that's a great question. So at Foundership, we don't use the phrase mentors. No offense to mentors in several ecosystems, but we believe mentors have got very little skin in the game because they are unable to contextualize to a particular startup. So both since me and Santosh have been serial entrepreneurs for over a decade, we have always felt the need that, hey, Sean is great in community building, but when he talks to me, he talks at a generic level as a mentor, right? Some of the best practices. But how deep can you go when it comes to my gaming project or to my infrastructure project? Can I get more of his time to share some of the practices that will work in my context? So this entire contextual mentoring is what we extended into something called as our coaching philosophy, where each startup in Foundership program get a dedicated coach for this entire 90 days, right? And that's how we have done it with our past cohorts. So we have a wide coach network of now about 100 plus coaches from the Web3 leadership teams across various companies. Several of them are founders themselves. And in this particular token launch ready program, you get a coach on tokenomics, you get a coach on marketing, you get a coach on product building, and getting ready for your investing, investor round, fundraise, and so on. So this program is going to be very unique, where you not just get one dedicated coach on your on the business point of view, but you get at least 3-4 coaches working with you to get you ready, because there's a power-packed, focused and intense program in 90 days, because we really want you to get ready so that you are able to launch between 90 to 180 days into your TG.
It certainly sounds like, Bimlesh, it's a well-rounded, crafted experience for those who are fortunate enough to be accepted in the accelerator. what could, as far as success stories in the past, or I think
absolutely.
Zoth is probably obviously the one that most people are aware of, but would you like to maybe talk about where things have gone well?
Yeah, absolutely. So so over the last 18 months, we've done 5 cohorts. We have iterated and experimented over them as well, and all of them were in early stage. So in our previous cohorts, we worked with early stage startups. You may have an MVP or you're just at an idea, but the team is solid. You have a certain deeper understanding of the market and the opportunity. So we have worked with such startups as well and picked them up early in our portfolio. Now, in a portfolio of about 40 companies, our top 10 companies are valued at about 200 million. And of them, Zoth is one of our top performing companies, which is in the DeFi space and building on XDC as well. And we have Circle of Games, which is a hyper casual gaming company. They just closed $1 million with Hedera and with Nazara Tech, which is India's largest gaming company. And we then have Book Protocol, which is building a protocol around tokenizing time-sensitive industries, like your hotel booking, air ticket booking. It could be even concert booking. So anything that has time-sensitive and you want to tokenize and monetize that from a resale point of view, that's what Book Protocol is building. And then most recently we have Turf.gg, which is a gaming infrastructure for esports. Esports globally is a multi-billion-dollar market, and these guys are creating an entire gaming infrastructure for esports, and we're super excited on what they're building.
Right. I'm sure I'm going to ask you for an email after this to maybe put links or help me out with resources so I can pop that on the description of this YouTube. So that'd be great.
Absolutely.
Thank you. The application process, it is pretty simple, isn't it? It's just a landing page. I'll definitely be, I've already put it out on my socials, but
Sure.
Is it a pretty simple process?
Yes, it's a simple process. The application form will take you between 15-20 minutes if you have all the data with you. And I'm sure every founder has got all the data right on their fingertips to share. And they're pretty familiar with filling up several accelerator application forms, and ours is no different. What we do is we don't evaluate it in silo. We have an investment team that reviews the application. Most of the applications that we get at Foundership, we ensure that we have at least one conversations for the promising startups. And then we follow that up with a second call as a due diligence call before we take a final decision to get the startup, to offer the startup to enter the program or not to enter the program.
Yeah.
Right? And all this happens, we have started to receive applications, and we've just started the evaluation process. So if you're listening in and if you still haven't applied, do check foundershiphq.com/XDC0xcamp and do take time to fill that up.
And I believe because of the response somewhat, we've extended another 2 weeks. So it's the end of this month.
Yes, the last day to apply is end of this month, and the program starts mid of June.
Okay, well, that's a short turnaround for you guys.
Yeah.
And what sort of timeline commitment? I mean, is it 90 days? I think you were saying.
Yeah, the whole program is 90 days program, and almost every day or in every alternate day, you'll have either you'll have a coaching session or you'll have a masterclass session.
Yeah.
So what we expect from the founders and the teams that we want to work with, we want serious intent to achieve their goals. While we have put a framework of 90 days, now whose token is getting launched? It's not Foundership token, nor it's XDC token.
Yeah, it's their token.
Their token. We want that intent to come out very strongly, that they are willing to put the time, because a lot of our coaches have committed that they are going to give the time that is required to make this happen within 90 days.
And I mean, it's obviously this is at no cost to those who are applying. It's just a commitment of time. No guarantee that they will be selected as the one that emerge with the opportunity to then be assessed by XDC to be then token launched. But I mean, it's essentially it's no financial cost to the applicants, correct?
Yeah, there's no cash component to it, but there's an advisory component to it. So there's an acceleration fee, and then there is an investment that will come in from XDC on day 90. So so once you get into the program, you'll get an agreement which has a 2% fee from Foundership for the program, and then there's a 100K investment that will come in from XDC on day 90, depending on the milestones that you achieve during the program. And in this program, we are also going to we obviously don't want to have a situation where startups come in, but they are unable to meet those milestones. But for reasons we may not be able to carry them forward if they don't show the intent and execute and achieve those milestones. But in all honesty, we want all of them to apply to be eligible for investments by XDC on day 90.
Yeah, I think for those of us who have been in business, it's often the process that gets the results rather than any one particular moment in time. So my advice, and I'm sure this is something that it's pretty common sense, but just the process of going through these sorts of movements and mentoring and coaching and the profile and there's so many things that just can come off things, not necessarily from the final destination where you think you might want to go, but that would probably be something that resonates as well, Bimlesh, with you?
Yes, absolutely. We have seen several of our startups. There are different types of founders, right? End of it, it's all about founder persona, right? Some founders are extremely aggressive. Some founders want to, take it slow, consume it, and then deliver it. Some founders just want to keep the momentum, right? They want to go by the flow that is going on, and many of the successful ones that we see, they surrender to the process.
Yes.
Once you get in, you come all in, you trust. Any questions that you have, any amount of due diligence that you want to do as a founder, do it prior to you getting into the program. But once you agree and commit into the program, go full on, go with full energy, go with full intent that you are going to achieve what you want to achieve at the end of day 90.
That's sage advice. It's it's like what my coach used to tell me in my sporting days, is it's always accuracy before power. But once you commit to something, that's when you hit the power.
Absolutely.
XDC Network is obviously a fantastic layer one in so many regards. Just personally, Bimlesh, what's something that's exciting you with this next cohort, and specifically partnering up with XDC Network? Is there anything that stands out that is particularly kind of exciting you on this?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think our entire conversation with Ritesh and the team that we have been having over the last 3-4 months in the run-up to this announcement has been fantastic. I think Ritesh is a great founder where he not believes in the quick peaks and troughs of the crypto cycle, but has a very long-term of building tangible success and making real change through technology on how you and I as individuals and as businesses give power back to people. And I think that philosophy as an approach, and our approach to really build ethical businesses, work with great founders, build a greater ecosystem, have that long-term impact, is what I think the meet of minds came together. Because when the intent and the philosophies are right, no matter how long it takes, you will always end up having success around it. And
it's almost. I completely understand what you're saying. It's almost like every string of the guitar is in tune, and it just carries that chord throughout the ether. It's great when you have that level of harmony and alignment, and I think it creates a lot of strength in the products as well. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to what sort of cohort you magnetized to foundership and what sort of manifestation we're looking at here. I think the world in particular is ready for a lot of good, sensible, ethical, dare I say, utility builds. And yeah, I've certainly been encouraging some of my local builders and founders to commit to Foundership's Ox Camp. So I'd love to kind of keep in touch and see how things are going from your end of the pitch. But any closing remarks, Bimlesh? Any future plans with Foundership in particular? This is your chance, I guess, to maybe not necessarily talk about this particular cohort, but I want to give you a chance to kind of bring more profile to Foundership. What would you like to say?
Yeah, absolutely. We have very strong aspirations. We want to be the YC of Web3. That's a single vision that we have, with a strong empathy of what Asia brings to the table. Right? And we're already working with global founders. We are super excited about it. And one of the things that we love working with founders are the founders, as I said, who bring in a very strong intent to achieve something. Right, where they take ownership, and we are pretty much the navigators, right, or the ones who are at the base station, but you guys are the ones who are navigating your rocket ship, and going in and exploring the unknowns in the far side of the moon, far side of Mars now, and several other spaces that we discover. We are a very strong community building focus, so we would love to expand our community in different parts of the world. We now are present in about 6 countries apart from India, where we run our monthly meetups in about 40 cities worldwide. So would love to keep continuing that, so that more people know about Foundership, more people know the ecosystem that we are building, where we have the philosophy in our community that give first, ask later. Because the more you give, it turns around and comes back always to you.
That's
right?
correct.
So,
and that's a great a great philosophy to branch out, and hopefully we can see something in Australia in the years to come that anchors Foundership here in a more permanent way.
Absolutely.
Well, we might leave it there, but I think just to recap the points, XDC Network is moving more in an accelerator framework in the years to come. We've really cemented our place in real-world asset tokenization and some DeFi aspects as well. And obviously, we're looking to kind of go more into decentralized physical infrastructure, gaming, staking, AI. Obviously, anything to do with trade and trade finance is obviously always welcome. So let's bring in those projects to places like Foundership with their accelerator coming up. The end of the month is deadline, so get your applications in. I would love to kind of thank Bimlesh. Thank you for coming on.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
And we'll definitely get talking to Bimlesh sometime, maybe early 2020 or late 2024, and see where things have ended up. So that sounds great. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much, Sean. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for listening in, and look forward to each one of your applications coming in and giving us an opportunity to evaluate what you're doing, and also have an opportunity to talk to you as well.